私でも来
今
ない。
ミケの間に使ったんですね。
大丈夫
でも石川さんが大変かどうかわからないです。
あー、でも
もしダメの場合はあの人
オッケー。
ちょうど今日私自分で全然問題なかったですね。部屋は OK。
でもあったかくてちょうどいい。
だから低いかどうか今21ですが。
ああ、でもそんな。
OK。だから
お
Good morning, hello.
なんだこれ。
なんでこれ？
何これ。
何これ？
ハロ
何これ？
何これ。
食べ物。ニューヨークチキン。
チキン。
ニューヨークチキン。そう、チキンオーバーライスです。そう、昨日から始まったよ。
あ、貸したの？ってこと？
そう、まあお金関係ないですけど、とりあえずこの場所使ってくださいと。Okay, today is different. There's going to be 3, perhaps 4 of us working up here. Sugi-san is on my right. I can't show you that. I can't turn this stuff right now, but she'll come and say hello in a minute. A little bit later, Dei-chan is coming. She's going to be in the workstation over there across from me. And we're not quite sure. Ishikawa-san may also be coming. She's going to be over there. So we have a crowd today. We have a real crowd. At the end of the stream, we've got a show and tell, and maybe we'll poke the camera around and have Sugi-san say something or whatever. We'll see how it goes. It's been busy. Holy crap, it's been busy. It's been crazy. The print. Where are we on the print? Tonight. 9 colors are finished. But if I show you the one on the net, it's not going to match because I'm doing them in a different order from the one online. Where are we? Here's the URL to the online. That's step number 1. I'm now at step 10, but it doesn't match what you're going to see there. If you look at step 1, step 2, step 3. I finished the 5 grays. I finished 2 tones on the fish. And what's left is 5 stones and 2 gradations on the fish. I finished 2 of the stones. No. Yeah. I finished 2 of the stones. I've got 3 stone blocks left, 2 gradations on the fish, and then finally the key block. And as you can see, it's going to be a stone today. We'll be able to see the other printers at work. I know I can't be a cameraman and work at the same time. So I'm going to work for the normal time of the stream. And then when it's time, we've got show and tell, pick up from last show and tell. And then we'll take the camera and move it around and show the other girls and ask them to say hello, something like that. So yes, this will be a different stream here. In the meantime, the block has already gone dry. For those of you who are new here, this is what's going on. This is a sample of the finished print. It's from my Solitudes series, and we are about 2/3 of the way through it. How much is the print am I hoping to do today? I'll be doing 3 colors today, but on stream here, just 1. I won't even have a chance to finish the first color here today on stream. But my work today will be the 1 stones, then a gradation on the fish, and then another stones. No girl chat with Dave in the room here. I don't know, do these guys talk? They don't actually talk much, you know. They work. They don't actually talk much. And in fact, I got in sort of trouble for that a while back. What was I printing? I came up here to print something. Oh, the girl in the bath, the onsen print. I came up to print it. And I sat here, and I started like now and then to say something. And I realized that I was talking too much. Because Sugi-san turned around like, again. They don't chat during the work, not so much. So they're going to, I'll be noisy because I'll be talking to you guys today, and Sugi-san's probably going to be sitting and thinking, oh my God, when is he going to stop? That's what I think they saw. Whatever. When I'm not here, it has nothing to do with me, The problem is, though, is if you've got a group of workers and one of them is too chatty and the other ones don't like it, then it's trouble, and there has to be sort of, at some point, a showdown. Look, please be quiet for a while. Paper is out for 4 people today, mine first, and it's still a little bit frozen. I don't really have this experience very often. Paper has been frozen last night. They just don't want me to talk. So, I prefer it if you be quiet. So, of course, each workshop has its own dynamic. Okay. Does the building smell of chicken? For those of you who don't know what that means is, if you're just coming in late, there's a URL here. Photograph from last night. The light out in the street is interesting. It's going to be a clear, well, it's semi-overcast today, but what you're seeing is half sunshine and half reflection. We're in a canyon here, and it reflects all over the place. You're seeing part reflection from off to the left of the camera, and some light coming from the sky right in front of the camera. So, it's a movie set. It's all, my secret has been found out. I'm actually in Las Vegas somewhere, or Hollywood Hills or something. Japan? Never been to Japan. Would be a nice place. I'd like to go there one day. What am I having for lunch today? She was only there last night. She hasn't moved in. She's gone away. It was a visit from a food truck last night. She couldn't put her truck on the street. She brought the truck first, unloaded a bunch of stuff, then did her session, and then at the end of the day loaded up and drove away. So there's nothing there now downstairs. Oh, it's still a bit soft here. It's up to my day. What we're printing now is the slight skin tone, the sort of pinkish tone on a group of these stones here. How did she do? Oh, I think she did okay. The problem was, it was really busy noon into the early afternoon. She showed up at 5 o'clock. She must have done another gig somewhere at lunch, somewhere else yesterday. So she came here at 5 and left at 7. So it wasn't really much of a test. I didn't count, none of my business. Maybe she sold half a dozen or so, one to me. But she was interested, and she's coming back next Saturday. And this time she's going to come in the morning and do all day. I guess she's got no other booking, so she'll be here all day on Saturday. Bit light still. The paper decorations outside are the end of the New Year's decorations. They may be coming down today. This street, this association that we're part of here is really skimpy on stuff like that. Part of it is because the guy who runs it is a little bit skimpy kind of guy, and second is this street, we have lots of expenses. Maintaining the lights, the street lights and stuff is actually quite expensive, and there's a new security camera system that went in just a few months ago, and that was quite a chunk of money. So yeah, that's better. I didn't think we needed, no, there's been no more graffiti, and so the woman across the street, she's saying, see, no more graffiti because of the security cameras. And I think it's no connection at all, but whatever, what do I know? There's no security problem on this street. There's a temple at one end and a police box at the other end. There's nothing, you know. Something else I meant to mention, and please remind me about this maybe a bit later. Something we talked about last week, and then I totally forgot about. We got a show and tell package last week with a bunch of postcard-sized prints, Kyoto scenery. And while we were looking at them, because there were some multiples, the idea came up that I said, hey, let's give some of these away. Let's do a giveaway or something. And then we talked about it. I asked you for some ideas, and some ideas came in the chat. And then I got involved with all this stuff and totally forgot about it. So the idea is still there. And actually, now that Cameron's back, he's starting today. We should get that organized. So I have like 2 different postcards, maybe 6 or 7 copies of each to pass away. And I have to think of an idea of how to do that. I've got all the chat records. I could go back to the chat from that day. I don't know. Anyway, just to say, I did forget about it, sorry. But the idea is still cooking, and let's do this. It's been busy, man. Honestly, it's been busy. No, Cameron's not here. He's working home, but I mean, he's back at work. It's Monday. He's been off for 4 days. Cameron might be dropping in the stream here today. I don't know. No idea. No idea. The deckless trimming, this will be a trim print. It goes out like this. The reason is it's going to be bound into a book. These prints are not sold as loose prints, they're bound into a book. So the decal will disappear. Sometimes we leave it, sometimes we don't. This print doesn't have a decal. So what you see here is going to be trimmed later.さんうるさいね、ごめん、本当に今日ずっとチャット話しますが、いや、
ラジオみたいでいい。
I'm apologizing to her because it's going to be noisy here this morning. She says, "Okay, it's just like having the radio on."2時間ぐらいかかりますね。冷凍庫には冷凍庫から出すと。
冬だからね。
そうかな。でもいや僕この部屋に6時ぐらい出して置いといて入れたでしょ。そう。でまだギリギリでしょ。2時間。
なんかね。でも
そうか。
大丈夫だよ。
いや時々石川さんが6時半ぐらい来るよ。僕6時出して彼女6時半来る。30分しかないですから。でもしょうがない僕5時や起きること考えられないよ。ちょっと彼女も言いますよ。申し訳ないです。あんまり心配しないでくださいとか。そうね。
なんとかなる。大丈夫。
What's this? All caps. Somebody's shouting at me. Hang on. Shouting. Can you share a little? Kids. I don't have any kids. My kids. I have kids, but they're gone. Family. Personal life. I don't have a personal life. You're seeing it. You're seeing it. It's funny with the bank account number because that's online. Here in Japan, it's interesting. People pay into your bank account through stuff. So on your website, you put your bank account information so people can make payments into it. So if you go to the Japanese website, you can easily find my bank account number. The idea being that anybody can put stuff into a bank account. You don't need passwords. You have your own bank account. If you want to send money to them for something, they tell you how much it is. You look on their website, find their bank account number, and tell your bank, send money to that one. So everybody's bank account is, every business, their bank account is open.このストリーム本当にめでてありますよ。向こうに住んでる人が、すぐさの前のビデオでしょ、一食ずつやったんですが、これ悪くはないんですが、こっちの方もすごいめでてありますよ。いや、仕事のリズムとか、
そうか、全部ずっと通してね、流してるからね。そっか。
My mother's here. Is she? Good morning, Mom. How is she? I didn't see any comments here. Please focus. Good morning.
今年初めてですか？ストリーム。
No, 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 no. どういうやったよ。
どういうやったんだ。
もう木土月ですよ。もうそのままですね。休みなし。
なし。
今ちょうど新しいメンバー、お母さん。
お母さん。
ライブです。そうか、そうか。I've had trouble finding masks, the right size. Sugi-san's, her mask is a sideways size because she's got no nose. It's okay, but, このようなマスクの大きさ、大きいものもありますし、小さいもの、本当にぴったりなものがあんまりないです。
なかなかないんだ。
ドンキにもなかった、近くの薬局にもなかった。
あ、そうなんだ。
そう。普通は合わないですね。普通さ。
普通サイズじゃ合わないんだ。
合わないです。まあ鼻が高い。
そうだね、そうだね。ぴったり合わない。日本人だ。
For those of you counting, that's 10 sheets. There's 100 sheets in the pack here. I'm 10% of the way through this morning's work. Lots of new faces. Other questions asking? Hi. Whatever, good. Thank you for... Paste. A bit of a dab of water sometimes. And a touch of pigment. Just a tiny touch. The pigment is on a tile over here. I've got the pigment... I mixed it this morning. I've got the pigment in a cup. Today it's very, very watery. It's a skin tone here. I put the pigment on a tile, and then each time I need some, I just take a dab. Just a little. That's all we need here. paper's a little soft because it's been frozen. It's still just coming to life, so I need the protection sheet here. And the color we're printing is this one. It's kind of a skin tone, actually. Awesome. 今日質問もいいんですが、他の客が答えてますね。レギュラーメンバーが答えて、僕全然できないから。だけど今何やってるんですかとか、そのような質問が来る。それからレギュラーメンバーが答えてます。
なるほど。
そう。
みんな
でレギュラーメンバーももう嫌になった人も多いです。でバトンタッチだけどよくありますよ。いや今日のニューフェイスはだんだん分かって来週説明します。
みんな分かってる人が
そうそうそうそうそうそう。
面白い。
I explained to Sugi-san here that lots of questions are coming in and the regular members are answering them. And that it was I had a funny one last week. I was reading the chat at lunchtime, last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember. And I saw a name there. And at the beginning of the stream, this person was a new face. Like, what's going on here? And people explained. By the end of the stream, that guy was explaining to people. Somebody else came and said, what's going on? And this new member who had just learned at 10 o'clock in the morning, he's explaining to people by the end of the stream. It's so funny. I get such a kick out of that. Maybe I don't remember the name, I'm sorry, but it was just so much fun. The thing about this is, it's like the game, what did you call it? Telephone tag, right? You get 10 people in a row, you whisper something in their ear, they whisper to the next person, down it goes. So, so what is it you're teaching the new people? I don't know. It's the end of the telephone line. That is such a hoot. I laughed and laughed when I saw that. I mean, I'm not laughing at the person who think it's silly. I'm laughing because it's fun. It's great. It's so cool. I think sometimes people like John and Karen, they feel like kind of a burden here. New people coming, what's going on? And John has to ask again. And that John has now become a bit kind of maybe tired of answering the same question all the time. I don't know. We should have an apprenticeship. You join as an apprentice and you learn by listening to the answers, and then after a while you're allowed to start answering by yourself. そうか、じゃあチャットの弟子になりますね。弟子になると聞こえますが、次のステップはちょっとだけ答えますから。
なるほど。
何しろ日本語、英語でテレフォンゲーム、学校で10人並んで、1人が何か考えて、2番目に。2番目が聞こえます。3番目。
伝言ゲーム。
何ですか？
伝言ゲーム。
伝言ゲーム。It's the same name in Japanese. They call it the 伝言ゲーム。Message game. そう。英語でテレフォンゲーム。
ああ、そうなんだ。
そう。まあ同じ。
そうだね。こう伝えていくやつね。
そう。伝言ゲーム。そうか。The message game. You leave a message for the person they pass it on. そうか。
同じテレフォンゲーム。
で今 A さん B さんに答えしますけど B さんは C さんに伝言ゲームで答えは僕はそれ言いなかったよと。
そっか。だんだん違くなってくるんだ。
そう。日本の伝統的木はげの作り方が変わりますよ。
だんだんみんなね、最後の10人目の人はみんななんかあれこれ違うじゃない。
そう。
1人目と10人目が違う。
And this is how the Japanese print tradition gets distorted from person number 1 down to person number 10. Also too, as we saw in the last stream, Nick is back in town here, the man who has made the bot for us, and it's high on my list of things to ask him. If he can give me access to a text file or something that the bot is reading, so we can prepare new questions and answers ourselves. It must be just a straight text file in the database, I think, so. Dengon, D-E-N-G-O-N, Dengon, not Dengo, Dengon game.今外もカメラの話をするさ。
どこ？
バルコニーの上です。
あっち。
そう。客が今ちょっと回ることできないんですが、客はこの付近、すり台、僕の顔と外。
ああ、はいはいはい。道、外の道。
見なかった自分のファンから。
見えなかった。
見えますよ、自分の顔。
本当。
Twitch で。
Twitch でね。でもさ、これ知ってる人？知らない人ですよね。デビッドさんのお友達か。ゴルフ、チキンフード。
まあいや友達と言えないんですからさ。もしなんかやってる間に泥棒が来ると僕のキャメラも見えますか
ああ、そっか、下の扉から入ってくると？
じゃなくて今街の風景でしょ。だからなんかトラブルとかなんかあると木版館セキュリティで。
セキュリティでね。
そう
防犯カメラになってる。
そうです。
面白い。
Oh, you're talking about the Dragonfly prints. Is the person in the stream who got two here, or somebody said I received two? Are you the person that you and your girlfriend ordered together? We had this, a month or so ago. Cameron phoned me, Dave, what do I do? Somebody had ordered the Dragonfly print for his girlfriend, and he said, please put a message in, I love you, my girlfriend, blah blah blah. And then like a week or later something, order came in. And it turned out that it was the girlfriend, and she didn't know about this, but she's just ordering my boyfriend. We watched the video together. We like this very much. Can you please get this for him as a Christmas present? Put in a message, I love you, whatever. This kind of stuff. So Karen said, what do we do? If I tell her it's already gone, it spoils his gift. If we tell him, so I said, look, send it through. Just send it both through. Don't do anything. Just send it both through as they request it. And after Christmas, send an email to the both of them saying, we were kind of stuck. We had no choice. We had to send them through rather than spoil us. But if you want to exchange one, we're cool with this. Just let us know what you want, and we'll exchange it. But we just had to send them through. And all we can say is it's going to be more fun. They're going to open this. He's going to open this, and she's going to open this, and they're going to go like, "Oh my God!" so it was more fun just to send it through. But so if that is you, then of course drop Cameron a note, or he should be. It's on his list of things to do to drop you guys a note. Saying, we had no other choice, but if you want to make a swap for something, let us know. What would have been worse, of course, is if one of them had arrived and then the postal delays, the other one doesn't arrive. That would have been... Okay, that's the first group of 20, as we mentioned in some of the previous streams. There's 100 in here. I've got them in groups of 20, newspaper, 20, newspaper, 20, newspaper. And we've now stacked up the first 20. And if you can see, they're slid. They're slid a bit so the same wet spot doesn't sit over top of wet spots. And this is a bit too dry now, the newspaper, so we'll take a chance, take the chance to touch it up just a little bit. 結構冷凍庫から出すと示すが変わりますね。
あ、変わります変わります。
ドライでしょ。
ドライすごい水分が。
どこ行くんですか、あの水。
そうだろうね。多分冷凍庫ってすごいなんかパンじゃなくてなんだろうね。なんかすごい
空気回す。
どんどんね水がね家でも冷凍庫に入れとくとお肉とかがだんだん。
いや長く
シワシワ
長く何週間ですか、夜だけ
あ、1日だけですね。
そうもう水全然飛んでますみたいな飛んでますそう僕多めに冬の場合は冷凍庫入れる週ないですね。だから下の工房が凍ってるの残ったコーヒーがもう氷になりますからだから部屋冷凍になっちゃいますから北向きの太陽の光が合わない顔のそば空気がふわーっとそう冷凍庫一緒ないね、まあ、12月から2月3月までいらないんでしょう。だからコーヒーカップを夜上に持ってきます、朝コーヒー用意して持ってきますけど時々忘れちゃうんです、残ったコーヒーがじゃあ私は上から氷でしょそう冗談じゃない、行ったことありますか青梅。
1回だけ行ったことありますけど、もうみんなスタッフがエスキモーの人みたいな格好してすごいもう首巻いてコート着てスタッフが働いてる。
今ヒーター入ってますよ。今窓に断熱材も入ってますし、今そんなに大変じゃないのでも僕の工房僕の部屋は全然何もないよ。
あ、そうなの？
スリ OK だから何分やってだんだん体が温かくなるんですよ。問題は氷でしょ。体動かないと。
動かさないと寒いわ。
と夜寝る前、夜やって氷の時ですね、寝る前板を上に持ってきます。で布団の中に入れる。板。布団の下。そうしないと。ホリダーに向かって板がその間もう0度になりますよ。だからそうするとすぐ手が凍ってるよ。だから板だけを布団の中に入れて朝コーヒー朝食べて下に板と一緒にパン。そうすると板が触っても OK ですよ。
じゃあ指先がカチカチ
そう氷なんです。そう
うわ
多分昔もそうやったかもしれないよ。昔そうしないと板がもう本当に触りますよ。そう。
板につけてやらなきゃいけない。
The newspaper isn't Japanese, it's the Japan News, published by the Yomiuri Shimbun. Do I have a blank one here? There's lots of English newspapers published here in Tokyo. Well, lots. There's two main ones now. When I came here, there used to be four. There was the Yomiuri newspaper, the Daily Yomiuri, the Japan Times, the Mainichi Daily News, the Asahi Morning News, whatever it was called. Now they're down to two. Yeah, New York Times. The Japan Times has a collaboration deal with the New York Times. They used to work with the Herald Tribune, and they canceled that. Now it's New York Times. I think the Herald Tribune seems to have gone, I guess. I don't know. And what the Daily Yomiuri does, the one I've got, they have a collaboration deal with the Washington Post. So once each week there's a 2-page spread from the Washington Post. Another day there's a spread from the Los Angeles something, Times, whatever it's called. And then on another day there's a spread from the Times of London. So we actually have access to lots of readable newspapers here in English. Not that it makes any difference anymore, it's all on the net anyway. But. Herald Tribune, yeah, it's gone. It used to be, Japan Times had to deal with the Herald Tribune, and then it stopped, and I guess the Herald Tribune disappeared. Yes, I don't know, no idea why. Ah, 忘れちゃった。ゴミ。
あ、出すの？
今ゴミ、そう、今リサイクルができないもの、割れたガラスとか、
今日そういう日か。
なんていうゴミ、
燃えないゴミの
燃えない、
リサイクル
そうそうなんか、燃えないもリサイクルもない何も。
もう間に合わないね。
間に合わない。The New York Times is printed here. I think they do it at the print press of the Asahi newspaper, I think. I'm not quite sure. It wasn't the cardboard today. Today was the garbage I forgot today was the non-recyclable, like when you have broken cups on an old fry pan or stuff like that. We don't have much because there's a little bag downstairs, a couple of broken glass things. I forgot. I just heard the garbage truck outside. So. The garbage collectors don't have whips, they have labels, and sometimes they'll just take it, but if they've got the wrong truck, if I put the wrong stuff out, they can't put it in that truck, and there's no room to take it. So they've got labels. He's got a pocket full of labels. He whips it out and he chooses the appropriate label. You dummy, you can't do this, or whatever. He puts his something on it, he sticks it on the garbage, and it says that's a reason for not taking it. Please clean it up. Well, he's not shaming you. It's just a message to you. It's not a message to your community. You know, it's a message to you. Sorry, guy, we can't do this. You know, wrong date. If there's a persistent problem with the garbage, and there was a while ago, some types of garbage, my burnable garbage, I put it right in front of my place. And the tag, I buy stickers from the convenience store. So the money goes through to the city. I buy stickers, and if I'm putting a 45-liter bag of garbage out, I put the sticker on, and we've got to stamp it with Mokuhankan. So they know this is Mokuhankan, that's Mokuhankan's garbage, it's been paid for, they take it. That's the burnable garbage, and that's put out in front of you. The same today, the broken glass garbage, it goes in front of you today. But the things like the recyclables, the cardboard boxes and glass and all that stuff, and PET bottles, there's a center down the end of the block. And everybody brings them to the end of the block, and there's the garbage people bring in advance. They bring empty containers. Here's for glass, bottles, cardboard. And we put our stuff in there. In the case of cardboard, we need stickers with our name on it. In the case of PET bottles, nothing. We just dump them in there. But if there's a problem, if people are putting the wrong stuff out there in the center, then they don't know who's done it. So what they do is they don't complain to the individual people. They complain to the neighborhood group, the leader of the neighborhood group. And he knows what's going on. He knows which house is causing the trouble. Stream ですか、杉さん？
石川さんに連
あ、石川さん。
絡してみて、
あ、そうか。
もしね来なかったらしまっといた方がいいよね。
そうですね。そう。まあ目もない点もないだから多分来ないかもしれない。
ああ、そうだよね。しまっとく？まあいいか。
まあ連絡待っててください。何日前彼女からのメールで、もし小池さんと菅さんがしまっていいで、そうできないとどうすると、僕は、いや、しょうがない、そうすると久保田さんに出しますとか、心配しないでください。あ、よかったと答えです。あんまりやりたくないと。来ないと久保田さんに出す。ちょっとわかんない。ごめん、いい話。でも彼女の日本語は、よかった。
よかった。まあね、本当また緊急事態出そうですよね。今。
でも問題は彼女始まったよ。
あ、もう始まったの？
かな？
紙。
そうだから紙は紙だけ示した紙だけか1色か2色入れたかどうかわからない。そのものを久保田さんに出すと大丈夫かどうか。重葉に入れた時は危ないよ。示し具合は違うと合わないです。だから多分紙だけかな。
そうだよね。
彼女の考えは1月からスタート。そうか、
そうだよね。中でダメになっちゃうから。
だからいいよ、僕待ってます、彼女の連絡。もしレイちゃんが来ると石川さんいないと、じゃあ、戻しましょう。
ああ、そう。デビッドさんも出したの？
出したよ。
石川さんに。出してないよね。あ、違う、メールは
紙出して、私。
紙は出して。
メール送ってない。
メール送ってない。
30. Everybody counting? Somebody timed me, a minute and a half, I don't know. If I really kept my head down and didn't watch and do anything. Oh, that reminds me, the timing on these things. A plan. We have a video on our YouTube channel, most of you know about it, the 3-hour video that shows the process. Dave carved a block and made a print, blah, blah, blah. And it has turned out to be really useful for people. I mean, there's people watching it just to go to sleep and stuff like that, but it also really is a kind of a good tutorial. As the thing went along, lots of discussion happened, carving, holding a knife, all that kind of stuff. It really has a good tutorial value. Now for printing, we have lots of videos on our website where, for example, Suga-san does one color, and we see 2 colors, and we see 3 colors, so we can see one impression. But it doesn't give you any sense of the rhythm or the flow of the work at all. And in fact, even some of them, Cameron cut it a bit short because the Baron is rubbing too long and stuff like that. But having done this here the last few days, what we need is a start to finish video of a printing run. Now it's impossible for this. 15 colors, 2 hours each, 30 hours, it's not going to work, and also I can't sit there for 30 hours doing this. But what I want to try and communicate is somebody's counting how long does it take for each one, how much paste goes on, but also what do you maybe see. I don't put paste on for every one, I put it on for every one at the beginning, and then I started skipping, then it went on every 3rd one and stuff like this, because the paste built up in the brush. Also the other day, Karen was really watching how much pigment I put on each one, and once I didn't put pigment, and Karen noticed, she said, oh my God, he didn't put pigment on this one, he skipped. It's because the brush was getting loaded. There's a flow that goes through each thing that adjusts as you go. Whether the block has small areas, whether it's got large areas. For example, we didn't talk about this, but a block like this, I put the pigment on and rub it around, but only about 1/4 of the pigment gets taken up onto the paper. 3/4 of the pigment is still here, and the brush picks it up again next time. So I don't need to put too much on. But the first block we did, it had a full thing. It picked up all the pigment. Long story short, I want to do a single video that people can watch and get the feel of how the paste and pigment go on, and the brushing and the rubbing and the Baron and stuff. But it doesn't work for something like this, 30 hours of work, more than 30 hours of work. So I need to find a print that has maybe 5 or 6 colors, a dense color, a small color, a medium color, and then maybe prepare maybe 10 sheets of paper. So we could do the whole thing in just a couple of hours. Get the right numbers of paper. Some pigment. So I put the camera on the bench so I can start with my red, green, my red, yellow, blue, and mix the pigments. That would be a super, super tutorial. Anyway, no promise, it's not happening tomorrow, but I am now convinced I have to do that, and I am going to think about how I can make this happen. And we do it live on Twitch, of course, and preserve it, put it up on YouTube. Not the owl print. That doesn't have enough variation of different stuff. You need something like we're doing the last few days that shows enough meat of paste pigment mix and stuff like that. So I don't think it should be a little postcard print. I've got to look through my block sets and try and find one that shows lots of different kinds of stuff. There's got to be a gradation. Now my block, of course, is bone dry, but whatever. So anyway, there's a plan. There's a plan, and I really, really, really would like to do that. And I need a sidekick, I guess. You know, because I'd keep my head down and do the thing. Maybe do it with Cameron like we did the previous one. I don't know. No idea. When John's here, maybe, okay. When and if and however, whatever, when John's here next, that's probably going to be a long time from now. But you see, narrate it separately, and it would be live. The show would be one of these streams. No, I said Cameron came back. Cameron's never left. Cameron's working for us, but he works at home these days. When I say came back, I mean after the New Year break. He took a 4-day break for the New Year's, and he's back at work this morning. Yeah, we do it. The one that's on YouTube was a Twitch stream. It originated as a Twitch stream, and then up it went to YouTube. No, the point about the editing, I wouldn't want to do editing. The point is I would want people to see in real time. Print number, say if there's 10 sheets in a package, how much pigment paste go on during the run of the 10 sheets. So no editing. That's why I would need a sidekick, because I wouldn't be able to talk so much. I would want people to see the real flow of a real printer's work. How's our time? 9 o'clock, Andy. Yeah, one of the print party prints. That might be not a bad idea, actually. One of the print party prints. Yeah, that might be a good idea. John may have it here. That might be the best idea. What is that? That's a 4-color print, 4 or 5 colors. If I put 10, 15 sheets in to give enough of an idea of the flow. That might be a good idea, sir. Not sure how many colors it is. It's been so long since I did it. Background to the fish, gradation on the fish, background overall, key block. I think it's 4. No? Two backgrounds to the fish. I don't know. 4 or 5. Our studio lighting has changed outside, I see. Boy, it was one of the print party prints. When you speak of the print party, speak in past tense, please. That's 40, right? 20, 40, the second batch. I lose count here, too busy talking. 20, 40. Newspaper is too dry. Absolutely, newspaper is too dry. So that's 40, it's 9 o'clock. So in 1 hour, 40 sheets with lots of interruptions. So even at this pace, slow, relaxed, friendly pace, 40 sheets in 1 hour, that means 2.5 hours for the 100 sheets. And I'm going to do 3 impressions today. I'll do 2.5 hours now, lunch break. After lunch I'll do one and half another one, and after dinner I'll finish off the half of the other one. So three impressions today on an easy day. Lots of times I answer mail, do other stuff, fool around with this and that. So peaceful working day. On a batch of 100 like this, 3 colors. For the old-time printers, Kubota Sano, the guys even older than them, that's a joke. That's a joke. Remember, no interruptions, head down, bang. This 100 sheets, I don't think he can be finished yet. He's not going to finish 100 in an hour, but it'll be an hour and a half, more 1 minute per each or something like this. So he can finish the 100 sheets in an hour and a half. So he'll do 2 colors in the morning. Take a lunch break, do 2 colors in the afternoon, and go home. So for a 9 to 5 working day, 4 colors on a print like this, easy peasy, easy peasy. It's a 15 color print, so we're looking at 4 working days. They're going to sell for $90, and a lot of them are pre-sold already. They will sell. This is not a never. So 100 prints, they're going to sell for $90. And it's going to take me 5 days, because I'm fooling around, and a real professional printer, 4 days or less. It's good business. It's very efficient. People look at this stuff, oh my God, it takes so much handwork to make these. How can you possibly make a living, and blah, blah, blah. It's okay, because the prints have value, and the work is actually quite efficient. It's a good system. It's a good system. If they're selling for $5 each, we couldn't do it, but if a print this complex, we don't try and sell for $5. Lots of conversation. We don't Pokemon. We have 2 Pokemon-inspired prints in our collection over on Jed's website. So. There's sunshine outside. Look at that. That's real sunshine shining down, of course. When I got 3 areas to print in one day, do we have to take into account the paper getting too wet? Yes, absolutely yes. And this is another reason we would like to do one of those long streams. When I did the first 5 impressions, it was gray. It was just gray. And the fish body, which picks up lots of these gray tones, the fish body got totally too saturated. So what I try and do one way is, you can see me doing it here. I'm putting the prints heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails. So the areas with moisture are against the dry area, moist, dry. When there's a sky and a sea, heads and tails, heads and tails. Part way along, I had to take moisture out. I cut some newspaper, some just dry newspaper, in sheets the same size as the print. I took each batch of 20 prints and put them print, paper, print, paper, print, paper, print, paper. Held it like that for about 60 seconds. Took the newspaper out and threw it away, and that pulled moisture out of the paper. So moisture control is two things. It's adding moisture with the brush here, and then it's taking it away when you need to take it away. Because here, as I bring each sheet out, it's losing moisture to the air, and it's picking up moisture from the block. And they don't always balance. Excuse me. All of a sudden I can't read it. That's why glasses. Email from Cameron. Hang on just a sec. Good night. Just a minute, please. Email from Cameron here. Just a sec. Excuse me. Hang on. Why am I wearing a mask? Because Suka-san is sitting 2 meters away from me. She's got a mask on. She's not happy about this. If I wasn't here, she could print with no mask. ね、残念です。申し訳ない。いや、デビルいないとマスク必要ないでしょ。そう、申し訳ない。いや、僕の問題は、メガネ。
曇る。
そう、そう。で、Suki-さん、ちょっと言ってください。
いない方がいいね。
そう、そう。
それだっていつもスイッチの時は外してるんだもんね。やってる時。
一人でマスクなし。もちろん。
なしだよね。
もちろん、もちろん。
そっか、だからマスクしないと。
で、いつもレイちゃんと一緒マスクですか？
レイちゃん？
例えばレイちゃんと一緒にやると。
しない。
しない。
じゃあ外してもいいですよ。外してもいいんだよ。
いや、僕は OK ですから、僕つけますよ。昨日もチキンレディとかいろんな人と話したし、劇場の人たちとも僕話しました。あの人たちはあんまりマスク使ってないです。だから多分この建物が一番危ないものは僕かもしれないけど。
本当そんなことないよ。みんな同じ。
青山さんも子供2人は奥さんの仕事もだからいろんなナチの交流ナチいろんなコミュニケーションありますから。
そうしてるからね。子供たち。
交流ナチます。These guys don't miss anything. 今チキンレディと話したんですが、何とか。
もう早速反応してるし。気になるよな。
If we do that printing stream, we've got to fix the desk. So I'm not at a right-handed desk. Otherwise, it's unbearable. I'm reaching across, just it's crazy. 今右利きのベンチでしょ。あゆみさんのベンチ、ハケはここからでしょ。で、やってハケはno ここです。She's laughing at me. So she's just laughing. そう、よくもういつもこう感じあってね。ない。そう。 would be such an important part of the video. We're talking about that video for printing stream. It's so important, you know. There's stuff on our stream already. We went to Kubota-san's workshop and he did some of the video. We did video of him making one of the hero sprints. And there's so many cool things, you know. I can't imitate it here easily, but he's rubbing with the barrel on the back. And then as he puts, he's right hand, I can't imitate, but anyway, he's rubbing with this barrel on the back. And as his baron moves away like this, his right hand comes, his other hand comes in and grabs the paper. And before the baron goes down, the paper is already coming off. And it flips over onto the right-hand side. He looks at it, and he looks to see it's okay. And while he's looking at it, his other hand is reaching for the brush. So by the time his face comes back from that, he's already brushing the stuff. So the two hands never stop. I'm a turkey here, sitting here. My hands are doing nothing. I do this. My right hand is sitting down. It's already dried out while I was talking. If everything's in the proper place now, this goes away. And before this is on the desk, my right hand is pulling the paper, is reaching the paper out from this. My left hand comes back, puts it in. Left hand comes out, right hand in, touch the paper down, off it comes. This goes away, hand comes out, pulls it over. It's a ballet. It's an absolute wonderful ballet here. And you're seeing none of that today because it's all freaking backwards and stop and start.もうそろそろショーンテル時間かな。毎日のストリームの前回のストリームの最後の15分仕事の休憩コレクションからの作品を紹介します。
あ、そうなんだ。
15分から。
いつも。
Oh, Cameron's here. Cameron's. Cameron's doing these printing streams, you know, we really miss having a sidekick here, you know. I sit there like this and explain something, and of course the block dries out in a couple of minutes while I'm doing that. I don't notice it so much in the carving streams, but for the printing streams, having no second person there, you know. Cameron's having no fun today, really. You know, his job right now, the next month is actually going to be not so much fun for Cameron because there's going to be lots of emails. Where's my Christmas present? I sent it, and like we sent it, and they didn't get it yet. And Cameron is the go-to guy there. He's the one sitting in the middle of all this. He spends X hours a day now looking up tracking numbers. So I think Cameron dreams nightmares tracking numbers. So we don't have an actual count yet, but it looks like December we sent out more prints in that month than we've ever sent out any time ever in any given month before. It was just insane, just insane. It's quieted down a bit now. Cameron's mailbox this morning had, I don't know, 400 or something in it. Last time he looked at it, it was like 600. I don't know. So. But the next couple of months should be quieter. This is bragging rights, right? My inbox has 642 unanswered emails. Oh no, mine has 572. it's bragging rights. Whose inbox has the most crap in it? So, show and tell. Okay. Let me finish on all. Okay, one more sheet. Does having 600 unanswered emails show you're out of control, or does it show you're doing good business? I don't know. Show and tell. Yeah. At this point in the other day's stream, Karen was on here and she said, "Put your block in a bag. Put your block in a bag." You know, I could do that. Whatever. It's just it'll just come back to life. It's all right. But it's not good to leave those open. So I'm going to try and cover those. Okay, show and tell today is, it's not a repeat, it's an update. It's an update. On the show and tell for the last one we had Saturday morning, I showed you an auction that I got of a bag of 300 little small match label prints. We dumped them on the table here, and we looked at this, and we looked at that, and we looked at this. Last night, after doing the third impression here I was supposed to do last night, after Chicken Lady had gone, I had some time, so I took that bag of 300 prints, and they have been sorted out. And there's some great news, and there's some, not so good news. And we can now have a look at what actually we got, because they're all sorted out. And as I said, there's some good news and bad news, so we'll have a look at this as it goes on. Let's get the camera setting. What do we need here? Just a second. Let me try and find a good camera angle. Tornado. Earthquake coming. Why is that not moving? Is that going to be a better camera angle? Let's start here and see what happens. We have a reflection problem. Okay, okay. Plan B. There we go. Reflection problem finished. Okay, well, what I've done is I took the 300 and first I split them into two bags. The woodblock printed type and then the mechanical offset printed type. And maybe not 1/4, maybe 1/5 or so of the prints in that box were mechanically printed. They were not so interesting, they were later stuff. Let's look at some of the wood blocks. I'll start with one of the key, I've never seen these before, and this is so much fun. There's a set of 4 in there, and they're parodies of a woodblock carver. Sugi-san, 漢字、この名前ですか？
あ、西
西谷と読む、何別の読み方ありますか？
西谷とは
西谷じゃないでしょ？そう、西谷かな？そう、
西
そう。We have a set of 4 prints of a carver. And they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's clearly a set. And whether Nishitani was a carver, whether he's done this for fun, I've got no idea. I've never seen these before. These date from about the 1920s or so, going by the paper quality. And it's a bit difficult to see what he's doing. But there we are. We clearly have a woodblock print carver. Little beady round glasses, bald head. Not so happy about something. And whether his name is Nishitani or whether it's a different pronunciation, I don't know. I'm going to have to go to the Doi-san's database and have a look up. And yes, he's got his persuader, of course. Then there's another. Now these are part of a larger group. And this is, let me take this out of here because I want to show these close up. This is a wood block print. This is so cool as a portrait. Look at this. You can see the gradation on the beard, color blocks, gray and a darker black for the head, a brown, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks, kana? And this is beautiful, beautifully done. Look at that. In the old days, why didn't the ukiyo-e guys ever figure out how to do real portraits? You can do it with woodblock. They're semi-caricatures, but they're actually real portraits. These are woodblocks that are also badly, badly foxed. These are 1920s, that's all I can say. Maybe teens and 20s, possibly into the 1930s, I don't know. And these men will be collectors in the group. Man, I'd have been happy just to get these, but we've got 300 prints. Moving on to the next page. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. It turned out some of the stuff we had in that 300, some were broken sets, some were prints that fill up other sets I have. This full set was in there. This is the Kabuki Ju Hachiban. We've talked about this before. We have many other series of the same thing. If you just Wikipedia, Kabuki 18 plays, Kabuki Ju Hachiban. And it's one of the most famous sets of 18 Kabuki plays organized by the Danjuro family back in the 1700s, I guess, the early 1800s maybe. And these are the most famous Kabuki plays for that family. So there's one. This is Shibaraku, the name of the play. This is Fudo, God of the Underworld. And there's a full set in our 18. And we had a couple of them before. There's 3 of them here. I already had 3 from this set, not knowing what it was. Now you can see we've got, in some cases, multiple colors. And this is really a big clue. The general knowledge about these match label prints is they're made by collectors groups. They decide what they're going to make, everybody puts their money in, you order it, they come back, and that's the end of it. There shouldn't be multiple versions. But look at this. Clearly, this has been printed at a different time. The background color is different, the headband is different, the skin tone is different. But looking really closely, it's the same block set. So clearly now, some of these prints were issued after. The blocks were used again, and maybe another set was made and sold. I don't know. Commercially, or the guys in the group got together and made another batch? I don't know. Anyway, the Kabuki Ju-Hachi. The next group, this is fun. People who work and live in Asakusa know what these are. These are sketches by Hiroshige, from Hiroshige's sketchbook, and they're paired with, how do you explain it? I don't know. They're puns, but not puns. If you've been to Asakusa, in fact, you can see these. Oh my God! Look in the camera. Look, 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 look. You can see one of them right there. Down in Dempu Indori, top right-hand corner of your view there, there's an orange post with some Japanese lettering and a print. It's one of these. They took this print set and put them on the decorations from Dempu Indori, Dempu In Street. And there's no way I can translate one of these for you right now. I'd have to look it up and research it. It's taken a phrase and they've changed one or two syllables in the phrase to give it a completely different meaning. How can I do a parody of this in English? I know. Natsugu-san, 店舗イン通りにあるパロディですね。例えば夏虫俳句みたいなもの。夏に虫を飛ぶ。かな In summer the insects fly. 夏虫が飛ぶ is a phrase. And these guys are parroted. It says 夏虫を飛ぶ. And the picture is a samurai with his swords jumping into the bath. She's laughing at me now. So, right, the show? So you take one or two of the letters in the phrase and you parody it. Natsu bushi ga tobu. And the picture is a samurai jumping in the bath. And you first read it, what is this? And then your brain clicks and you understand the joke. A play on words, but it's not a pun. It's so bushi instead of mushi. And if I was a Japanese expert, I could read these things to you and I'd explain what all the jokes are. Believe me, even if I give you Sugi-san, she's going to say let's come back and talk about this later. so. なんていう言葉遊びでしょ?
そうですね。
Wordplay. I know there's no specific. Anyway, it's a series of 18, and maybe this is a full set. Sometimes 18 was. They were made in sets of 4, 8, 9, 10, 12, 16, 18. Different sets of layouts were quite popular. Anyway, but later on, we're going to shoot these and put them up in the collection, and at that time, we will start digging through and try and explain the meanings of as many of these things as we can get to. Anyway, this also was in that set of 300. Let's move along. Page turn, page turn, page turn. This is a good one. あとに、年賀状ありますし、それから夏の間にサマーレターみたいな。じゃなくて、夏の暑さの間に何て言うんですか？しょっちゅうお見舞い。しょっちゅうお見舞い。しょっちゅうお見舞い。This is a series. She's much better Japanese than I am. This is a series of match label prints, and they say clearly. Match label, no. しょっちゅうお見舞いじゃない。しょっちゅうこの同じコンセプトでしょ？しょっちゅうなんだこれ。そう。しょっちゅうお伺い。Okay. So it's good. She's so much better at me. So the idea, we have New Year's cards we send at New Year's times. In the summer, we send a postcard to people saying, it's so hot, hope you're doing okay, hope you're doing fine. And this is a set of match label prints made like that. And again, the sponsors would have each put an idea in. I want to show a picture of, this is Amano Hashidate, a cool place on the seacoast you go and visit. And these are actual, total, full woodblock prints. And it's the group has got together and they've made a summer shochu ukagai, a meeting. And I'd like to meet you in the summer. So. Shochu ukagai. Ukagai. So. Oh, go to show on honor. So. And it looks like what we have is the full set. There are 8 in the set, and then there are 3 extras put in by the group. Congratulations on finishing the process. And one of them is interesting. This one, the sponsor says Hori Uemura. The carver is also a member of the group. He's joining in the fun, and he also got the set. This also is a complete set. The 300, the gifts just kept giving and giving and giving. The next page, you saw 1 or 2 of them the other day when I was showing you the prints. We have a full set. Get them out of the plastic. I can't do both here. Here's the first 4 of them. We have a full set of the Omi Hakke Hiroshige prints reproduced in match label size. And these were originally Oban prints. And they never saw the outside of a matchbox. No, 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 no. They were made as collector's items. Collectors groups made them and exchanged them. There are match labels that are match labels. I know, bar addresses and stuff like that. But they morphed into a collector's concept as well. This is 1950, 1920, 25, 1930. It was all over by the war. And they were not made one at a time, like carving a little woodblock and printing a little tiny woodblock. They were made in gangs. This 8 would have been made on one block, made as a set of 8 prints, and then chopped up and given out to the collectors. And that's a set, the full set of the Omihake. And below this, it's another set. And I don't know the origins of this, because everyone has the same name. This says Hori Uemura, and they're numbered from 1 to 10. And they look like scenes of Chinese painting. And they each have a title. I know this is nice. How do you pronounce this? Akaruitsuki te nani? What's it? Meigetsu. So it's basic, I should know it. Akaruitsuki. I can read the kanji, but I can't read the combinations. And Chinese Uemura again. And it makes sense because this package all came from the same source. It was one person's collection. So Uemura must have been the carver in that particular group. And I don't know him or know of him. This is long before I was born. Next page. Now we saw a bunch of these when I showed the pictures the other day. It's a set of temples, and it turns out that after a little bit of research last night, there are 33 in the set. And this is a set of temples in the Kansai area, based near Kobe. And these are all the temple pictures, and they're all numbered. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and there are 2 missing. Whatever, we'll get them sometime, someday. All the temple pictures are done with 2 impressions, a key block and a tone block. And they come out very, very, very nicely. So burnt sienna, it looks like a sort of a and there's 2 missing, and I already had 2 of these, but they didn't match. We put one in to show that placeholder, and there's 1 missing here. Then this next one, this is fun. That bag of 300, my God, the gift, the gift, the gift. I said I paid too much. No, it's okay. It's well worth it. And here we have the yokai, and it turned out, I don't know if it's a full set. There's 10, which makes me think it's a full set yokai. And I've already got mail, people wanting to buy these. Forget it. These are not for sale. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yoshitaro, この読み方。彼の名前、南義太郎でしょ？
ああ、そうですね。吉太郎か吉太郎かどっちか、ね。
吉太郎か吉太郎。そうそうそう。The sponsor's name is on here. He must have paid for the set. His name is Minami, and I think Yoshitaro, maybe Kichitaro. Yoshitaro, かな。And these are cool. Look at this. I mean, a skeleton with a shamisen. Give me a break. This is so cool. They may be based on Kyosai sketches. I have no idea. Or somebody made some originals. I don't know. Could be Hokusai did a series like this. But again, please don't send me an email wanting to buy these. These are not for sale. Sorry, they're going into our collection. The other one we saw 1 or 2 of these. There was clearly a Zodiac set. This is mixed media. These are carved, but this is not printed with a baron. These are printed in a printing press with oil-based ink. These are not hand-printed woodblock prints, but they are hand-carved woodblock prints. And I've got no idea this is Sanskrit or Hindi or something like this. I've got no idea what language is. And it's a full set of Zodiac. Oh, somebody's got some information here. Good, good, good. Thank you. I will read details later. Here's the close-up. The rooster one, there it is. And then the last in this first album, there was what looks like a complete set. This is Japanese folk tales. We have the sponsor's name here. The sponsor's name is, I guess he pronounces it Natsu Otoko. Natsudan? 彼の handle name ですね。sponsor の handle name.
ああ、本当だ。
Natsu Otoko?
夏男。
Natsu Otoko. So. And he's got a sample. And these are folk stories. You can see Momotaro the Peach Boy. It's the Tonkat Sparrow. It's the one with the rabbit and the tanuki. This is on Isumboshi, the little boy. We have here, this is on Urashima Taro, going down into the ocean. The guy, I forget the name of it in Japanese, the guy who spreads cherry blossoms all over the trees and stuff. I'm not sure, is this maybe Kintaro? It's a boy wrestling a bear, so I guess it's Kintaro. So, that's the first album. There's two. Let's just dig through. I don't care what time it is, whatever. Let's just do this. We now start to break down. That was the ones where there were what looked like complete sets. From now on in, there's no more complete sets, I think. It starts to break down. There's partial sets, there's broken up stuff, there's different things that look like they're in groups. A group of New Year prints. It's the treasure ship, the Takarabune, the treasure ships. This is a group of them. Then this group, I have no idea. It looks like a theme of children's toys, and it's also festival goods. And I have no idea. This is not a complete set. There's no title page to it. So I grouped them together, grouping them by theme, by paper quality, and by printing style. A group of children's toys. This is there's a religious iconography. There's a group. I think there's some numbering, and the highest number I've got says 31, but clearly not all 31 are here. It looks like Buddhist iconography. They're all ladies with some kind of Buddhist background. Here, we saw these the other day. Let me get them. Have a look at this one. We saw these, and look at this. It turned out, here we go. There's 3 and 3. We saw variation. She's got a green swimsuit, yellow, and pink with the parasol changing colors. And then her friend looking the other way has the same combination of colors. And the sponsor's name, Kobayashi, is on the bottom of each one. And this is the same as what I mentioned before, the Shotchu Omimai. This is hot summer, wish you were here, hope you're doing well in the heat, stuff like that. Set of 6. And again, you can see the era. This is the era of the flappers to show. At the bottom, there's another group, 6 ukiyo-e reproductions, and 5 more. This is part of a zodiac, and we've only got 4 recognizable. There's the Toronomaki, the ox, the dragon, and the mouse. This is 4 prints from what looks like a zodiac set. Later on, they're going to be found or not, who knows. And from here on in, it decays. It's just piece by piece, piece by piece. Another partial zodiac set, 6 animals out of the 12. A few kabuki actors from a larger set. A few magical cats. No idea what kind of set it was from. This is some kind of joke or parody set. Again, these are just 3 broken items from a larger set. There's a tradition of risque prints in here. A woman in the bath with a guy peeking and whatever. There was a risque tradition. And we have another zodiac set. Here's 4 of them: roosters, dogs, mouse, snake, and 4 more. There's 8 in this set. We have so many broken sets here. Art Deco dancers. And now it's just one by ones. These are all the random 1 by 1 pieces from the batch of 300. They're homeless. They're isolated, taken away from a larger set. We'll keep them here, and at some point maybe they will help us fill out it will help us fill out full sets. So that's it. So the bag of 300 really had a bunch of wonderful, wonderful treasures. It also I've lost it. Oh no, I've lost it. What did I do? I've lost it. The last part I was supposed to show today. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Well, there we are. I can't find it. I also brought with me a sample of the ones that turned out to be printed matter and not woodblock prints, but I've already lost it. No idea. Save it for later. So, the bad news about it, there was a beautiful set of Hiroshige landscapes, the snowy landscapes. It turned out they were offset printed. I got them under the microscope, and we had to check them under the microscope to see it. They were offset, not woodblock prints. Not woodblock prints. Okay, sorry to end on a down note like that. I did. I got it ready to show you, but it's here somewhere. I can't find it. No idea. We'll catch you next time. Okay, this is now Monday morning. The next stream will be Thursday morning. By then, I almost certainly will have finished this printing. The printing for me now is supposed to take place on Monday and Tuesday. From Wednesday, I'll be back downstairs at my normal place. If it turns out that I don't get things finished, maybe I'll be doing the last impression on this next Thursday. It's possible, but I'm not really sure. Probably I will then be back downstairs at my normal place. If that's so, then it means this is the third and final stream of the printing, and it's been fun for me. It's a bit frustrating because I can't actually continue and print properly. But as I said, we are now making a plan for having a really good printing stream, a start to finish blank paper to finished prints to show the mood and the rhythm. We'll try and work that out and see when we can possibly do it. Before I sign off, I've got to show you who else is here. I said I'd do this. Let's try and turn around. Another earthquake coming. Rei-chan's desk across the room. Ishikawa-san's desk across the room. And Suga-san. Here we are. Hi. Where are we here? I gotta close this up. What are you doing? She's printing JJ. The one she's printing, she's got a sample on her bench right beside her. The sample is there, watching what's going on. あと何色?
あと雨入れておしまいですね。
Just one color left, she says, after doing this color today. ちょっと終わってからちょっと見せてください。はい。Oh, look at this. All right, beautiful. じゃあ、あと雨だけ。
雨だけ。
She has to do the rain block, that's it. And then put her name in it. 何回する?
これ何回だっけ?
10回くらいかな?
あ、そうですね。そうですね。雨入れて、結構ある。ちっちゃい。
10回くらい. You can see also on her desk, this was the paste cup. Right by her left hand, her bad hand. Her brush and pigment are barren are by her right hand, her good hand, her strong hand. Let's watch. Look at that touch of pigment. Just the touch. これぼかしですか? じゃないですか?
これは普通のやつ。
She's putting a tone on the fish. Look at that pigment through the back. 後ろからすごい出てるでしょ? 今の裏から見えますが、すごい絵の具が出てますね。
そうそうそう。今回紙がすっごい薄かったんですよ。なんかね、いつもの
竹長でしょ？
そうそうそう、竹長なのに。
竹長ですけど、薄い。
すっごい薄かった。
でも今のロットは今何ヶ月前から同じロットでしょ。
あ、そうなんだ。
そうそう、新しいロットじゃない。
みんな結構薄かったからね、すごいびっくりした。久しぶりにこんな薄いのでやったけど。
Look at the blue. Look at this.
愛が
Look
すごい。
at this. She's got different blue tones.
なんかね。
Can you see the difference? They're in there. This difference. It'll be the level of black in each one. There'll be more black in some than in others. ああ、そうか。じゃあ杉さん、ちょっと向こうからどうぞ出してください。いやいやいやいや。次のものをする前にちょっと見せてください。だから魚の形、する前とする後。
なるほど。
いいですか？はい。Okay, I've asked her. She's going to do that. She's going to show us.
これが。
Okay. Oops. Just a minute. はい。So there's the fish. はい。する前。Before printing. もちろん仕事するの。She's not sitting on the floor. She's sitting on the floor, but her feet are down. This is a raised floor, and her feet, just like mine right now, my feet are flat on the floor. I'm sitting. So she's got one more color to go after this. So the white fish has now picked up a delicate, delicate blue tone. Oops, wrong way. Hi. So it's a speckled tone on the fish. Thank you. Hi. That paper is soft and damp. 柔らかい紙でしょ。So it's like wet tissue paper. She's just delicately holding it. Wet tissue paper. Small little area. Unlike the block I was just doing, which we had to rub around and around and around and around. She's just on one small, get a little tiny brush. We try and use a brush that's as large as possible for any given area. So that brush will be full of pigment, and she's probably not putting pigment on each time. I'm not sure. I wasn't watching. Oh, here she goes. Yeah, tablet based. Look at the tiny touch. Look at that tiny touch there. Not calendar paper, no. But by now, at the end of this thing, this paper is flat. It's one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other. She didn't calendar it before. And she's not using a backing sheet. Her Baron, she's got the right balance. She's got enough oil on the back of her Baron, and the paper condition is right, so they're not peeling off. あ、杉さん、今ちょっとそのままやってくださいですが、今ちょうど449人が見てる。
今
Yes、今。
ライブ中継。
ライブ中、そう。
あれまだ映ってるの？
そう。まだ予定は9時半ですが、楽しいから。
あ、まだ見てるの？
そう。じゃあ、いや、本当のスリの見るチャンスが少ないですから。
そうか、今ね。
そう。
本番ね。
そう。Too late, I already told her. So a stream within a stream. But actually, I have got to get back to my work here, so I think we'll call it a day here. We'll call it a day. I'll pull up the outside view before we roll off. Or no, let's forget the outside. It's more important to see this. Let's just turn that off. Twitch Live, 珍しいチャンスでしょ。そう。Turn my mug shot off here. Right.
もう、まあ、9時半過ぎてるもんね。
そう。Vivid KP says, how many impressions? I just asked her, but she doesn't remember. There's about 10. I forget. I don't know. This is a delicate print. This one's a bit of a difficult little print. Looks like a cup of tea. Tea みたい。茶じゃない。紅茶じゃないよ。お茶？海苔？
あ、これ？
お茶みたい。Why is she putting tea on her face?
確かに。ここに柳寿司って書いて。寿司屋の湯のみ。
It's a teacup. It's a yunomi. It's a teacup, but it's paste inside at the moment. So. 正直見もニューフェイスいっぱい入ってますから、こうやってからちょっともう一回見せてください。Here we are. It's almost finished. There's one more color block to go, which will be white rain streaks. Other than that, it's finished.
最後雨。これは。
So, white rain block. Thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, thanks very much. Signing off. See you on Thursday morning. Not sure what we'll be doing downstairs or upstairs, but anyway, see you Thursday. Thank you very much. Bye for now. Signing off. 3, 2, 1.